Here's a look at the market for Thursday, June the 11th, 2009. We always like to start off with our market profiles, and each day has a lettered market profile and a volume profile. What I've just highlighted in the red box here is today's action. This was yesterday's action, and this is the overnight profile. So I was mentioning that the market was likely to lean higher. We did have slightly higher values overnight, and it did continue through till today. However, we did have a pretty strong sell-off, some 15 points off of the high to where it closed today. And this really is a little disturbing if you're a longer-term bull, because this test was above the consolidation area. Now we've come right back into it. There is a possibility that we could hit down to 35 or to 31, but I think what we need to keep in mind is around this 41 area is a critical area, and should the market be able to stay in around 41 or above, I would remain positive in the market. If it comes and holds below that, it's probably going to hit 35 and could very well go down to 31. So this is a bit of a mixed bag here. It was somewhat difficult to read. We had the rollover in the contracts, and whenever you're looking at volume and under those conditions, it's a little different than usual. And so that's what I think we're looking at come tomorrow. Here's the individual daily profiles. So these profiles are each day. They do not include the Globex or overnight session. So this is today. I've just highlighted here. You can see we developed higher values than yesterday. Volume was comparable. However, it was still weaker. So that's what makes a little bit difficult to read here. Unlike yet going into at the close at this time yesterday, going into the next day, we really did feel the market was leaning higher. Now, certainly not quite so sure. However, like I said, if it can hold around above the 40-41 area, I would consider that a positive development in the market. I think we had 5 trades today, and our first trade got us long early. It did hit our first objective, but then came down, so we ended up with just a break even on that trade. We had a really nice trade when the market rallied up here. We got long here, and it did move, easily hit our first 2 objectives. It came back to our original entry and had a second wave of movement. Some of our traders capture that second wave. Most of the earlier people in our group do not. It's a little bit more difficult trade to re-enter, but there are rules that we use in regards to that. But needless, it still worked out to be a nicely profitable trade. We tried another one over here on the way down. Unfortunately, we were stopped out of that as it continued down, but instead ended up by getting short here, and were able to take part in a nice move lower off of the 950 area. As the market dipped down into 946 and change. So that trade worked out very nicely. We had a beautiful deceleration bar right here, so able to partake in the market here as it sold off from 49 and change down to 45 and change. So that worked really well. We had another opportunity later in the day to get short in here on these rallies. It didn't quite hit our entry prices, but it was kind of frustrating because, as you can see, we just missed our entry price by 1 tick, and as you can see, the market sold off some 8 or 9 points. So a little bit unlucky in that regard, and not getting on board that last trade of the day, but still ending up nicely positive for the day. So we've got some key areas to look at, and for tomorrow, around about the 41 area, and to see if really the market can actually get any kind of follow-through. If there's no follow-through overnight, then early tomorrow morning I suspect the market could have a nice bounce. But if it doesn't get that bounce and starts to hold below about 40, then look out. We're down to 35, I think, and then possibly even 31. So that's a look at the market through the eyes of eMiniDayTrader. Of course, this video is much shorter than the longer version, a much more detailed version with many more charts that we post on our members section of our website. We'd love to hear from you. If you've got any questions or comments, just send us an email to info@eMiniDayTrader.com, and we'll get right back to you. So that'll be it for Thursday, June 11th, 2009.